Welcome to the 531, where we debate a top 5 list on a particular subject, further discuss it down to a top 3, and then eventually settle on a top 1. Now after this beat, we'll get to today's subject. Alright, that'll work.
We'll loop it.
No. Alright, I'm gonna hit the music, and then you'll know what's up. Alright everybody, welcome back for another week of the 531, where we take a top 5 list on a particular subject, vote it down to a top 3, and then debate that top 3 down to a number 1. And this week, since there's been so much New Japan talk this week, we're going to do the top 5 IWGP champions. Dave, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I've been actually cranking out some New Japan lately, too. So this is kind of fun for me. I've been going back, watching a few archive matches. I saw Andre the Giant versus Stan Hansen the other day.
I thought that was versus Inoki.
I watched that one, too.
Oh, okay.
I sent you one Inoki. Yeah, I also did Andre Hansen. Andre didn't have long matches. They're like 12, 13-minute matches.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get a ton out.
No.
But our first list this week we're going to give you is from Jesse from New Hampshire, and he chose Brock Lesnar, Shinsuke Nakamura, Tanahashi, AJ Styles, and Omega.
Interesting Brock made his list. I thought about that, too. Ultimately, I didn't feel like Brock had like that kind of run where it's that long in Japan. But if you look at him as an overall performer, he's definitely, got to be one of the top performers to ever hold that title.
Yeah, definitely. And
adds legitimacy. No matter what you say, Brock adds legitimacy to any belt he holds.
Yep. And I think we're going to see, we're definitely going to see it, is just these lists are going to skew newer. There'll be some older names on there, but I think we're going to see a lot of...
I'm going to mention a name, because maybe he's on yours. I didn't see him on any list. Scott Norton was an interesting guy to me. Didn't make anybody's list. Because, I don't know if he held it that long, but he was a big powerhouse, a WCW name. And when I was thinking about, former champs, his name popped in my head. Not very prestigious, but I was wondering if he'd make this list. I feel like he's in that spot where he's not that popular, though.
Yeah.
And, he's not... he's not that new.
He's going to be like the non-popular Brock Lesnar if he shows up on any list. So who do you got for a first list?
Sue Randy. Randy got us Kata. He's got us Vader, Nakamura, AJ Styles, and Kenny Omega. So he went pretty new on almost all those guys with the exception, I would say, of Vader. Yeah,
I wish I had put Vader on my list. But it's one of those things. You're kind of picking a handful of champions, and not everybody's going to make it.
Vader had a match I was watching with Hansen, too, where Hansen knocked out Vader's eye.
Yeah,
they edited it out there on the English version. They do an English version, too, where Kevin Kelly gives you the insight about it and how Hansen was actually part of All Japan at that time, and it was a super card. And I wasn't aware of all that information, so I thought that was kind of cool.
I believe I have the unedited version of that. Where
I think you do. I think I came to your house one time, and you had it going on, and see Hansen's
gross as fuck, or Vader's eye. The next list I got is from Lee Canfield. He has Okada, Tanahashi, Inoki, Vader, and Nakamura. To me, that's by far, I think, the most versatile list. I wanted to put Inoki on my list just for the historical aspect of it.
Was Inoki the IWGP champion?
That's what I wasn't sure of. I know, Hogan was. I think Hogan beat him early on for it.
But because there was a different version of the belt at one point there.
Yeah, there's been a couple different New Japan belts, but who do you got for your next list?
We got Scott from Voluntown.
Yeah, get off your phone, buddy.
Hey, I was going to try to look this up and find out the information. I want to find out because I bet you Inoki's going to make a few lists here.
Oh, shit, man. You should give me the Iggy.
That's all right. You calmed down on it. Tag team partner here. All right. So Scott from Voluntown, he did send me a text, set me straight after that stink face comment, which I knew that was coming. I told him. I knew. I was waiting for you.
Playing fast and loose with it. You knew what was up.
He knew what was up. He said, yeah, Dave, you got me. Yeah, triple threat match with Kurt Angle, Triple H, and I forget who else was in that year. I think Steve Austin. And then he said, triple threat TLC match. And, oh, yeah, Terry and Kat stink face match.
Had to have it as his number one.
Yeah, let's see if Kat makes this list here. We got Tanahashi, Okada, Muta. Give him credit for this one. I haven't seen it on a lot of my lists, but Tatsumi Fujinami and Shinji Hashimoto.
Yeah, I was surprised to see Hashimoto, too.
Hashimoto makes a few lists of mine there.
Yeah.
And those who don't know Hashimoto, I remember watching that match. I think it was the Collision in Korea years ago.
Yeah.
I want to say it was against Scott Norton, actually. And Eric Bischoff made the comment that, you don't realize how tough this guy is. He kind of looks like he's your pizza delivery boy. And which I don't know if he does. He just looks like he eats a lot of pizza. But,
yeah. Next list I have is from young Connor Elsey. He's got Okada, Omega, Chono, Tanahashi, and Nakamura. Chono was a good inclusion in there, another different name. Kind of like Vader and Inoki. We're finally starting to see a little bit of variance in it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Chono making the list. As Eric Bischoff used to call him, Masa My Hero Chono. I was always a fan of Chono. And he used the Mafia kick, if I remember correctly, too. That was one of his favorite holds.
Now, the next list I have is from my brother. He has Okada, Styles, Muta, Nakamura, and Tanahashi. Now, I figured Okada, Nakamura, and Tanahashi would be on multiple people's lists a lot of the times because of the rivalries they had over these titles.
Yeah, they're definitely going to make a lot of lists. There's more lists I got coming. And I do want to say, for the record, Inoki was on that list.
He was on that list.
I think it looks like he might have been the first. But, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It's tough with the early titles because they had different titles that came in.
It's something like 87, at least he held it. So.
Okay, makes sense.
Okay, so let's go to Jake.
Jake St. John, author, friend of the show.
Yes, and he is a big New Japan fan. That is his organization, as he says. Not AEW, not WWE, not NXT. New Japan. That's my boy. Now, he put down Okada as his top champ, Tanahashi, Tatsuji Fujinami again, Keijo Muto, also known as Muta, and Big Van Vader, Leon White, Baby Bull.
It was good to see Vader get on another list.
Yeah, Vader. He makes one more list of mine, too, coming up. Yeah. Oh, a couple more lists.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got his brother Zach's list, right?
I do. You want me to read that one now? All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Vader ain't making this one, though. But I'll tell you who is. Okada. Here's one I liked. Kensuke Sasaki.
Okay.
Yeah, also known as the Power Warrior with Road Warrior Hawk, and married Akira Hokuto, former WCW Women's Champion at one point, too.
Okay, wow.
Tatsumi Fujinami, Shinji Hashimoto, and Muto.
I've only got my list left, but I'm going to do Lesnar,
Yep.
Muta, Okada, Tanahashi, and I really like Naito. His current reign I'm happy with, but it was more a couple of years ago when I saw him in New York. He was the IWGP champion when he was doing joint shows with with ROH, and I couldn't get enough of him around that time. So it's good to see him with the title again.
He's not only a tremendous performer, he's a tremendous character. You know what's interesting? You had Lesnar too.
Yes.
What I was wondering is now Kurt Angle had the IWGP title too for me.
Yeah,
I mean, there's another guy who's legitimate and stuff.
He had it. I guess it's just your flavor. I probably could have put him. I was thinking of putting Hogan too because, to me, Hogan, he's a big deal growing up, and just him being an IWGP champion. Yeah,
I think Bret Hart had a version of the title. It wasn't the IWGP. When I grew up as a kid, I think I read something about it, but it wasn't accurate. I think it's whatever was another version of that title at one point, unless he had the junior weight belt.
I don't know if he would have had the junior. Owen might have, because Owen did do some wrestling with Tiger Mask.
Oh, I'm very well aware that Owen had a much better deal in Japan. But I thought Brett had that on his titles here. Just going to do a quick little search. Stay with us, fans. I think this will be some fun facts here. We got...
Are you using Wikipedia?
Yeah, I know, but it's a cheap shortcut. If it was listed on here, then
Cage match ain't bad.
Okay, Joe giving me shit over here. Yeah.
And magically it'll be like Dave. Dave's like, man, fuck Wikipedia. We might just keep all this in because
why not?
It's fun banter.
Yeah, should we, All right, Bret Hart. Oh,
yeah, that's the bitch of it. Is you got to zoom in for cage match.
Mm-hmm. Where's
titles should be up near the top.
Titles? Shit. I'm not seeing any Japanese titles. I probably read that in one of the old kayfabe mags, like PWI.
Could be, or they could be any number of things.
Yeah. Shame. All right, fuck Brett. Anyway, I will give you AJ's list, actually.
I think we got AJ and you left?
Yeah.
Or do you have any more?
No, that's it. Me and AJ. All right, I'll do AJ first here. He got the Great Muta, Big Van Vader, Masa Mahiro Chono, Okada, and Tanahashi. So it's interesting where AJ, you notice he put Okada and Tanahashi towards the bottom. AJ more of a fan of, guys like Muta and Vader in that time period.
Yeah.
I am too, but I think it's kind of hard. You can't really discredit what Okada did. And so Okada's number one on my list. Then I went tradition. I went with Muta. Then I went back to Tanahashi. You see, I got a flip-flop here a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I finished up with Vader. And I also had to put Hashimoto down because, what an interesting guy. Just a big old belly, stiff kicks.
Yeah,
talking to the mic, baby.
So I'm going to say Okada has to go on. I think he's been on just about everyone.
Yeah, I feel like now it's interesting here, right?
Everybody's been on almost everyone. So you could have Okada, Tanahashi, Nakamura.
We got Okada. I'm saying this is what I'm noticing a lot. I'm saying Okada, Tanahashi, Muta, and Vader on a lot of lists here, too. I have Vader. I'm just looking right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So we'll do Okada, Tanahashi moving on because they made the most list.
Yes.
And let's do it between Muta and Vader.
Okay.
Both classic
Talk about
picks.
two different style wrestlers, though, right?
Yeah.
Muta with the flying and the strikes, and Vader with just a big old nasty bear, ground and pound.
Yeah.
Knock your eye out.
Well, he had his eye knocked out, actually.
He did. But he'll knock your eye out, too.
Oh, he could. He could fuck you up.
Big boy. You're in danger.
It's... I mean, it's almost who do you like? Like, I personally would probably just go more with Muta. There's more showmanship.
Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I'm a Vader guy. I like Muta, but Vader, I just he's one of the greatest super heavyweights of all time. I just love his work, especially early on. So physical, so beat your ass.
Okay, since there's something different, let's put him in with Okada and Tanahashi.
Let's do it. You know what? Yeah, why not? Because we got the other two guys. Let's put the Gaijin in there.
So now we're down to a top three, and we have Okada, Tanahashi, and Vader.
Well, I think this is going to be a classic, right? Vader's got to go, though, when we were talking about these other two, right?
That's true, because Okada and Tanahashi...
They're the two guys, really. They're the guys that are kind of there.
The modern flag bearers.
Tanahashi's the ace, and Okada's the guy who's setting the records and stuff like that.
Yeah. Nakamura would be a third on that list.
I think Nakamura would be there. If Nakamura didn't leave to go to WWE to do his thing there, I think we'd be talking about him in the same breath, possibly even more so.
Yeah, almost like the new top three of New Japan. So Okada versus Tanahashi as champions. To me, it feels like an open and shut case just with what Okada's done with that title on the recent run. Yeah. And giving it such legitimacy.
Yeah, and he's number one on everybody's list,
too. The two matches with Omega.
If you look at these lists, Okada is number one on...
a lot of the lists.
I have 7 of my 8 lists counted me. Okada's number one on.
Lee Canfield, my brother, and Kana Elsie mentioned him right off the bat. Yeah. Actually, and Tanahashi was
for me, but
okay.
But still, you get it. That's 6 out of 7.
Yeah, Tanahashi was second on Lee's list. He's 4th on Connor's list. And even if this isn't their 1 through 5, first on their mind is Okada.
Most of these guys told me Okada was number one. Mike Flynn gave me some stuff to put down. Of course, I didn't because we were moving some stuff in a dumpster today. But that's another story. Joe broke a window in my house, but you know.
Technically broke too.
Yeah, I did. That's okay though.
Didn't get the door screwed back on. I mean, we got that couch up the stairs.
And that's all that mattered. And I paid him off for it too. Don't worry about it.
If you guys could have seen getting that couch up the stairs, that was something else. Like
we were bumping our ass off on that couch.
We should have had somebody filming that. That would have been good Patreon material because, I mean, unrelated to these lists, we launched a Patreon this week.
And we're just trying to think of some material and some stuff. So
actually,
if anybody wants to,
let's get done with this list and let's do a little bonus after this. So, Okada won this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Okada.
Sorry, Tanahashi.
Okada's
you ain't my ace.
Okada's clearly the winner.
Not my president. Not my ace.
So, I mean, none of these were really bad picks, but I think just based on what Okada did with that modern run, really puts him at the top.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised we didn't get more Naito and AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, even Kurt Angle for that matter. Yeah. But I mean, I think that was during his fucked up period, and it happened during TNA.
He had it the same time around Lesnar did. I think it's just more crazy that Lesnar held that belt.
Yeah,
because Lesnar pretty much is just a WWE guy.
And I mean, Dave, you know what that music means. You can find us at FansWorking on Twitter, Working Fans Wrestling Pod at gmail.com, Working Fans Podcast Facebook page. And you'll hear us talk about it. We got a Patreon.
God.
Patreon.com/workingfanspod. So you know where to find us. And we'll talk to you later. Bye.
No.
Guys, thank you for listening to the 531 here on YouTube this week. If you like what you hear, you can always find us on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and on the Apple Podcast where you can subscribe and also give us a 5-star rating. We appreciate you listening. We want your feedback, 531, and if you agree with us, if you disagree with us, we also want you to let us know. And let us know what your 531 would be. Come up with a top 5 and let us know, and we'll tell you why you're wrong. And in order for us to do that, please contact us on Twitter. We're at Fans Working. Facebook page, Working Fans Wrestling Pod. Email workingfanswrestlingpod@gmail.com. It's very important that you actually contact us on these platforms because we want this to be your interactive place to talk wrestling.